Positivity is everywhere. Good vibes only. Look on the bright side. It's plastered on coffee mugs, Instagram captions, and motivational posters. And sure, optimism has its place. No one wants to be around a downer. But what if there's a dark side to always being positive? What happens when we start to believe that if we're not happy all the time, we're doing something wrong? It's easy to buy into the idea that positivity is the answer to everything. Feeling sad? Just smile more. Stressed? Be grateful. It's tempting because it feels good, like we're in control. But when positivity becomes a shield, a way to avoid uncomfortable truths, it stops being helpful. It becomes toxic. And that's where things get messy. When you force yourself to stay positive all the time, you're not allowing room for reality. Life isn't all sunshine and success. It's complicated, messy, and sometimes painful. But when we're told to just stay positive, we're taught to suppress those real, raw emotions. It's like putting a Band-Aid on a broken bone. Sure, it might look fine from the outside, but underneath, the damage is still there. And here's the thing. Our emotions exist for a reason. Fear, anger, sadness. They're not just inconveniences to be shoved aside. They're signals. They tell us when something's wrong, when we need to pay attention. Ignoring them doesn't make the problem disappear, it just buries it deeper. And buried feelings have a way of resurfacing when you least expect it. The pressure to be positive can also create a weird sense of shame. If you're struggling, it's easy to think, what's wrong with me? Why can't I just be happy like everyone else? But that's the lie. No one's happy all the time. No one has it figured out. The constant push for positivity can make us feel like failures when we don't live up to it. It's isolating. It makes us feel like we're the only ones struggling when, in reality, everyone is. And here's where it gets personal. This channel is all about uncovering who I really am, layer by layer. And part of that means not pretending everything is fine when it's not. If I were to slap on a smile and act like everything's perfect, that wouldn't just be dishonest, it would be boring. The truth is, being human is complicated, and that complexity is what makes us who we are. But it's not just about individual experience. There's a broader problem here. When society glorifies positivity, it discourages real conversations. Think about it. How often do people ask, "How are you?" and actually want an honest answer? We're conditioned to give the easy response. "I'm fine," even when we're not. And that silence can be dangerous. When people feel like they can't talk about their struggles, those struggles get heavier. And the darker it gets, the harder it becomes to reach out. And there's another side to this. Being too positive can make us avoid responsibility. If everything is about good vibes only, there's no room to acknowledge problems that need fixing. If someone's struggling with mental health, they don't need to be told to cheer up. They need support. They need to be heard. Endless positivity dismisses the real work that goes into healing and growth. It's easier to slap on a motivational quote than to sit with the hard stuff. But the hard stuff is where change happens. So why do we do it? Why are we so drawn to this relentless positivity? Maybe because it's easier. It's comforting to believe that a positive mindset can solve everything. It gives us a sense of control in a world that often feels unpredictable. But the truth? You can't positive your way out of every problem. Sometimes things are just hard, and that's okay. If there's one thing I'm learning as I reveal more of myself through this channel, it's that real growth doesn't happen by pretending everything's fine. It happens when you sit with discomfort, when you face the parts of yourself you'd rather avoid. And honestly, that's terrifying, but it's also necessary because if you're not honest with yourself, who even are you? So, where does that leave us? Maybe the answer isn't to reject positivity entirely, it's to balance it with honesty. It's okay to find joy in small things. It's okay to look for the silver lining, but it's also okay to admit when things suck. You're not weak for feeling sad. You're not broken for being angry, and you're definitely not failing because you're struggling. The dark truth about always being positive is that it can disconnect us from our emotions, from others, and even from ourselves. Real connection happens when we're honest, when we allow ourselves to be seen, even in the messy parts. And maybe, just maybe, that's where real freedom lies. This channel isn't about easy answers, it's about digging deeper, past the cliches and surface level advice, to figure out who I really am. And if you're along for the ride, maybe you'll start to uncover a little more about yourself too.